Hello, my name is Lauren Ermish, and I will be reporting and giving a presentation on the country China. First off, China is a great place for business. Many energy and electronic-based companies should consider doing business in China. A total of 21.9% of the total global energy use in 2012 was in China alone. A preview of the topics I'll be speaking about today is culture, religion, language, nonverbal language, energy, the consumption, and electricity usage in China. And at the end, I'll give a brief summary and conclusion. First off is culture. There are over 1.35 billion inhabitants in China with over 50 ethnic groups. It is no surprise that China is a huge tourism spot. The country was heavily influenced by the Western nations of the world. Not very many people know this, but English is commonly spoken in China. And not like our own, their business and ethics are similar to ours. Next off is religion. Taoism and Confucianism were the early stages of their moral and ethical guidelines that they use in China today. The two main religions that they use and practice are Buddhism and Christianity. We should also note that China is a communist country and they are still controlling and they keep an eye on religious practices nowadays. Next up is language. The official language in mainland China and Taiwan and one of the recognized languages of Singapore is Mandarin. A couple other languages are Wu, Hunanese, and Min and Ping. Next is nonverbals. Seniority is very important in Chinese culture. The eldest and most experienced people in the room get priority. Also, giving face is important too, which is giving respect, and that's highly valued in the Chinese culture. There's an example of the picture shown where giving the eldest and more experienced seating first before the least experienced gets to sit down. Also, adaptation is very important too because it does show respect and that you're willing to cope with other cultures. Next up, we're going to talk about China's energy. In 2011, China was the largest power generator. So they are seeking for alternative options for getting rid of their power shortages. Energy is a very important part of Chinese culture. As they use a lot of coal and energy is very important in Chinese culture. They consume a lot of resources and they output a lot of energy and electricity. China's consumption. Coal accounts for 69% of the total energy consumption in China. So China is under pressure to reduce coal and other non-renewable resources that they use. Their CO2 emissions increased by 10% per year alone in China. This causes a lot of stress to cut down energy costs as they are rising. The next topic is electricity. Electricity generation is expected to increase by 89% in China. Thus, the need of cleaner energy and the increasing demand for energy needs to be met in the next few years. Back to the topics we talked about. We talked about culture, religion, language, nonverbal language, energy, consumption, and the electricity usage in China. I would encourage business in China due to the immense amount of culture that we can learn by expanding our businesses overseas. Also, culture is what sets different countries apart. China has a wide variety of religion, language, and mannerisms. There's also many more subtopics that I could have even talked about, but I wasn't able to touch base on them, such as food, traditions, festivals, clothing, and even the background of China. China is such a large and vast country, and they contribute to a lot of the energy that is used in the world. thus making China ideal for business with electronics and energy practices, such as the business that I wrote about in my report. In conclusion, I would say that China is the perfect business spot, and due to their great track record and their beautiful culture, I would encourage the business that I wrote about in my report, electro corporations, to continue that deal. Thank you for listening to my report and my presentation. Thank you.